Hello everyone, hi, it's Kerilie McDowall. I'm the director producer of In the Zone, Rick Kilburn. I'm just going to leave you a little message here to tell you what's been going on with our film. Our team has really been excited. We recently won the Creative Innovator Award, I guess probably because of how the film was made. Shaw had been doing really interesting work, both creating for television and YouTube at the same time. And then later they were posting it on social media. So it just seemed natural for me to create the film for all those three mediums at once. So when I was creating it, it was purposely being created, but not just for television, but for social media like Facebook, and the other mediums where you can share video, and also YouTube for sure, right? So we did release it on YouTube for a little while, not very long, and then I took it off because I thought I might like to try distribution, and that's where we're at now. I'm really excited to say and share the exciting news that we have Hollywood interest, so that's pretty exciting, and we're hoping to bring on investors. So if you're interested, there's a link below. You can get in touch with me. I'd love to chat with you and tell you all about it and send you more information, including our stats. I mean, I was looking at the stats, okay, and I just took the highest week. I didn't even take the highest month. So I didn't add up the whole month's stats, just the highest week of each cast member in our film. And it was totaling 74 million hits on IMDb Pro, which was pretty exciting. And so what that meant was if the film only earned 10% of 74 million, but we charged a $10 ticket price, we would be at 74 million if we reached the upper range of that lower range, because that doesn't really reflect the whole month and all the views, right, or hits. So, but and then you never know, well, how much of that can you monetize? But it's pretty exciting to see the potential it has. And as you know, film goes on for decades and decades and decades and goes forward. So it can be lucrative. So anyway, it's a cute little short film about the wonderful jazz bassist and composer Rick Kilburn and his longtime friend, pianist Ron Hadley. And his father was also in the film, the late Jim Kilburn, who was a jazz guitarist. So bassist Rick Kilburn had a lot to say because he had spent many years in New York performing with the greats, from Dave Brubeck to Chet Baker to Mose Allison, pretty much everybody in New York at that time. And I mean, there used to be jam sessions with Michael Brecker and all these exciting things that would be happening. But he has worked as a music producer. He's also a jazz music producer. He's worked with hundreds and hundreds of people over the years. And as a bassist, he's performed, with everyone from Kenny Werner to Diana Krall. I think, I don't think there really isn't anyone that he hasn't played with, but he is a multi-JUNO winner. He, as part of the project, putting together projects for the JUNOs, has won over 4 JUNOs and an East Coast Award and a West Coast Award, and he's shortlisted for the Grammys. So he's done quite a lot. He's quite accomplished that way. And he's also, as part of our film, won 13 awards. So that brings him up to the 19 mark. I'm at the 16 mark by now, but it's really because of the film and really the amazing team that helped me produce it. I was very fortunate to work as a volunteer television director at Shaw Spotlight for 5 to 6 years, and did some co-hosting in television as well as some hosting for 7 years, for a total period of 7 years. And it was a really great time to learn from some great mentors at Shaw Spotlight, including the wonderful Todd Jones, who is one of my favorite directors, producers of all time. He's just a force to be reckoned with. I have stories I can tell you about him where he was just doing things that were so magical and beyond belief, like no one could even follow him. He was directing so quickly with his switching from cameras. Like, he was moving so fast that you couldn't even follow him at times. when he was doing sports directing, like lacrosse or hockey. Just amazing. So I was really fortunate to work with a gifted director like Todd Jones for quite a few years. And so I had his mentorship while I was putting the film together. I was working on the editing, and Todd would throw me some information when I needed it, and it was really fantastic. And so Todd was my technical director, but he was also my mentor for quite a few years, so really lucky to work with him. And the whole team was amazing. Stanislav Bobkov, who was the main technical person at Shaw, he was phenomenal too, a force to be reckoned with. He was my camera person, one of my camera people, and he just did a great job. I love some of the shots he got. Same with Doug Tombe, who was a Shaw volunteer. He did some great work too, camera work, and as well as some closed captioning. Paul Racky also did some closed captioning. So, we were really lucky to have this amazing, great team. And Jocelyn Matway, who was a producer at the time at Shaw, well, she was just amazing and managed to get the film out and onto television and released before the pandemic shut down all of Canada, like pretty much the very day of or the next day that we released it. So I couldn't, participate in festivals the way I wanted to, like in person, because there was no travel allowed for a long, long time too while we were festing. So we were participating online and we were winning all these awards, and it was pretty exciting. And I didn't really have the ability, I don't think, to travel the way I'd hoped to get to some of the Hollywood fests and everything like that, because there were real tough restrictions at that time. So, but it was a real wonderful experience, and we won quite a few awards from everywhere, from Japan to Hollywood. We won 3 from Hollywood, 2 from Japan, 1 from the United Kingdom, 1 from Toronto, 1 from South Korea, and 1 from Hong Kong, China, which is quite an honor. And so most of them were Best Short Documentary Awards. From the Toronto Festival, Independent Festival of SIFT, it was a Best Canadian Documentary Award. And, we even won the Best Short Documentary Award from the Hong Kong International Short Film Festival, which was a huge honor. I was very moved by that award. And also the South Korean Award from the Seoul International Short Film Festival was also quite a thrill, because, they gave me a Best Director Award. And I was really excited to see Todd Jones, my technical director, and I pick up a Best Editing Award. Todd had a lot to do with the guidance on that, and putting that, helping me put that together and really, learn about film and television for many years. So I was really lucky to work with him, and he's someone I really look up to. So it was fabulous. We had a lot of fun. And then with my publicity skills, I thought, oh, why don't we do some festing? And, I used a bit of that. And the next thing I knew, we were starting to win all these awards. And it was really quite wonderful. I didn't really have the ability to really pitch the film at the outset or to at the early stages of the project, because it was done all sort of on a whim, last minute, and there was no real advanced planning to this. We just did it. So there wasn't really a way to participate, like with, I don't know, funding like at Sundance or anything like that from the major fests, really getting too involved with that because of how it was produced. But and it wasn't really ever intended to be on the festival circuit. So, but we had a lot of fun with that, and so it was quite an honor recently to win the Creative Innovator Award from the Woman of Influence Awards here in 2024 in February, and we were very honored. Blaze Hunter put a really great evening together for the award recipients, and I was very honored, felt grateful to her and also the Nanaimo community for their support. And, like, it may sound corny, but everybody's been showing us this love, so I just want to send that love right back to you, because, everybody around us has watched us win all these awards and has shared in our excitement, and has been so supportive, and it's just been such a thrill to share it with you and see it go where it's going. So, yeah, we've got Hollywood interest, and they're now looking for investors. So we'll be putting that out there. And if you think you have any interest, I'd love to chat with you. And also, I think there's going to be some really amazing perks too. Like, for example, you can get more information from me on the perks, by the way. That's for investors who get involved, but also there will also be some perks for people that donate $275 or more as donors, and certain stages get different perks. So and we'd also like, as in the zone, Rick Kilburn in the community, to eventually do some fundraising for charity. I think it's always important to give back to the community. So I would really like to do that too, as either a separate phase of the project or as part of the project. So yeah, and then pick a couple charities that we can donate to as a group, as a unified team, and get that done, and really make a difference. So thanks so much for having a little chat with me. I just want to tell you a bit more about the film and how it was shot, and just a bit of behind the scenes information here. So I went out well, first of all, I asked Rick Kilburn if he would do the film, because Cameron McLean, who was in charge of Shaw Spotlight at the time, of the television studio, said to me, well, why don't we shoot a film, Kerilie? What do you think? And I said, sure. I said, let's do it. And he said, well, I'll give you a camera team. So I went out with him and the crew. We went out and shot the film. And I had Stanislav Bobkov with me the first time. And that was fantastic. We did some really great shooting, and then I had some footage to work with. And then we realized that we had to do a bit more shooting. So we went back with a different camera person, because Stas couldn't do it all. So we did it with Doug Tombe, the volunteer on the film. And yeah, so we got some really great footage. And then I went through it later and took the best, most emotional material from what we had gathered. And Rick Kilburn told a really great story. Some really fascinating sort of spiritual wisdom emerges as he talks, with shares humor, interesting perspective. It's kind of interesting. It's a glimpse into a world that you don't normally get a glimpse into. And so, and Rick is candidly honest, and he's really quite inspirational. So I really enjoyed making the film. This little story we're really quite proud of, and we're just honored and grateful to share it with you. And so when the film does become available, once we get through, the distribution, getting that dealt with, we'd love you to see the film, and we'll share links so that you can check it out once it's available and on different platforms. So thanks so much for your support over the years, everyone. We're really quite honored and quite grateful. And if you'd like more information on investing or donating, please click the link below. I'm using the link also for other purposes, so maybe you can just drop me a little message when I email you for you to tell me where your interest was, and then I'll know that you're interested in the film. Thanks so much, and I'm really quite excited, and I hope that we can share a coffee soon, or a Zoom chat if you're a little further away. I'm located here in Nanaimo, BC, and I'd love to get together with you. Take care.